How is it going, you lovely lot? Welcome back to Park to Prem. And full transparency today, I'm recording this the morning you're watching it. Yes, as I sit here, it is 7 a.m. Apologies to the key players over on the channel membership page for the fact this video isn't as early as you'd normally expect. And for those of you thinking, channel membership pages, early access video, what does this mean? There's a join button below the video. Click on it if you haven't already. Anyway, today is a rather big occasion. We have our first live commentary at the Murphy Part-Time Ngoma Sports Complex, also known as the Ngoma Doma for short. Yes, that is official canon. As well as that, deadline day. And you'll never guess who's still here. David's still here. He won't leave. I don't want to admit defeat, but he is now training with the first team. And I have also registered him for the Premier League. I am going to try and get rid of him today, I swear. Today, by the way, is episode number 105 of Park to Prem. Let's run the intro and get straight into things, shall we? Yes, folks, I hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. Very excited for the first game in our brand spanking new stadium today. 24,000 fans will be attending the game. It isn't our first home game because we played 2 league games since last episode against 2 Midlands teams, the first of which Aston Villa. And having not won on the opening day of the season against Leicester, I wanted to get a win. Good news, we got a win. Even better news, Celik immediately back in the team with a man of the match performance. And elsewhere, Diop got his first goal for the club. Yeah, I saw the comments. Diop, it rhymes with flop. He's going to be a waste of money. No, Sam Fay on off the bench to turn provider. Hope that's a sentence I'm going to be saying a lot this year. That goal there capped off a really good performance, a dominant win. And we followed it up with a second convincing result, this time against Wolves. They did get 1 goal back right at the end of the game, which left things a little bit nervy. We did come back from behind to lead this game 3-1 at half-time. And all in all, a really good performance. Diop, man of the match, a goal and an assist in this game as well. Takes him to 3 goal contributions in 3. And I feel like now he's performing to his attributes. Now, it might be early on in the season, but that doesn't mean I'm not willing to tweak the tactics slightly, and I have already done a little bit of that. And Bolton, still a roaming playmaker. I am monitoring this. He has been giving the ball away a little more than I would like in recent games. And, there's not a lot we can do to solve that because he's a roaming playmaker. I feel like I need him to play that defence-splitting pass, but it is something that I am keeping a little bit of an eye on. I'm not adverse to making changes. We've already made one change. Alex is no longer a wing-back on support. We've moved him back to playing kind of the same wing-back role as Lee Min with no additional instructions. And so far, it worked a little bit better. I want to say last game and the game before. Well, we won both, so it worked better. A good sample size. Anyway, here is a quick look at the Premier League table. Arsenal, surprise, surprise, top of the table. Although they did lose 1 game already to start the season against Everton at home. With that in mind, a win in this game today would put us ahead of our big rivals. Sadly for us, there's a whole host of other teams who are going to be looking to do the same. And also since last episode, I've made 2 new signings in the last 2 weeks. Nothing too spectacular, I don't think. You might have spotted them on other screens. The first, Simon Burso, or Berkso. I don't know how to say an O with a line through it. So Danish viewers, please help me out. This guy, very, very good at centre mid. Training him to play defensive midfielder too. To be honest, I don't know how much he's actually going to improve given his potential, but I feel like he has the makings of a useful little squad player. We signed him for £7.75 million. And the other man we've signed for a rather similar fee actually is Gallinetta, an Italian stallion. 7 caps for the under-21s already. He only turned 18 a few months ago. We've managed to snap him up from Fiorentina for £7 million. And whilst he hasn't made a first team appearance yet, my scouts were ranting and raving about him, and I made the decision I wasn't going to spend £100 million on a centre-back. That wasn't really an improvement. Snedden's legacy lives on. I'm hoping that Gallinetta will be the long-term successor. Of course, we were looking at Alamir as an option, but with David not leaving the club, I ultimately decided that I didn't want to spend £100 million on him, which I think is sensible. I want to sit here and say, since I did that, Snedden has really repaid my faith. He's had a bit of a slow start to the year, but you know what, Dexter, we love you. There was some interest from Manchester United in him. They did make a bid. They offered 20 million for him, which frankly I found insulting. Anyway, today's first opposition is Crystal Palace. I say first opposition. It's the only match we're doing today ahead of deadline day. Their media prediction is 14th. If you're wondering, check, why come back for this game? Well, firstly, it lines up nicely. Secondly, Crystal Palace have been a bit of a bogey team for us. When you look at recent results against them, we've only actually won 2 games of our 7 meetings against them, whilst the goal difference is only just in their favour. I would really like to beat them today. I really need to beat them today. I was just looking at the lineup for today's game and I realised I'm missing someone. The reason I'm missing them is because I've got rid of them. Not permanently, might I add, but Gilliland has left on loan. This guy, I feel like has to have mad potential. He's been at the club a really long time, so our staff have really been able to form an opinion on him. He's got 5-star potential, but I've just not been able to give him enough first-team opportunities. Stuttgart have made an offer to loan him. He actually scored on his debut for them in the Conference League. I'm hoping he will get regular minutes and improve. I'm hoping he might be a late bloomer, especially because he came through our own academy. I really feel like I've done a lot to try and get this guy to develop, and it's just not really worked out for him. I feel like that's more a thing in more recent FMs. I feel like maybe 2 or 3 FMs ago, you could always pretty much max out a player's potential by just ticking all the boxes and doing stuff right. That's a lot more difficult to do now, I find. And I'm hoping that we might be able to do it a little more than we have with Gilliland with our squad here. Because if we just look at our team, outside of the starting 11 and, well, the bench here that you can see, I have made a concerted effort really to build up a set of, well, emergency backup players almost, kind of the C team players as opposed to the A and B team players who have a load of potential and can develop. They are a load of 18-year-olds, as you can see here, all available for the under-21s. Players like Dimitrov, who I have actually given a Premier League debut to since you were last here. Players like Swainston as well, who again, I've given a Premier League debut to. Players who I think are good enough to step in, maybe feature on the bench from time to time and make cameos when necessary. And I guess Gallinetta falls into a similar mould. Would love to give this guy maybe the odd game here and there, but I don't think it's imperative to any of these players' developments. The one exception, of course, is David. David's, 4 years older than a lot of these players. He turns 22 in a couple of months. He's only got, 2 years left on his current contract. Of course, we accepted that £70 million bid from Valencia and he turned them down. Valencia are vanished. They don't want him anymore. And the biggest bid that I've had, I think, offered my way for him was like 30 million. And at that price, I might just keep him around. Of course, just as a reminder, we're training him to play Shadow Striker. I'd like to get rid of him today, mind you. Anyway, that's a little roundup of the squad, the transfers, the results, and everything else since you were last here. Let's get into this game. Worth noting, Huari, you can see here, picked up a little bit of a knock. Not ready to play in this game, so it is going to be NDIA slotting in at centre-back. For a moment, I thought I was going to bring in Bailey Salmon, who has actually started the first 3 league games of the year, but no, NDIA I'm going to bring in at centre-back. It does mean, however, Swainston can make the bench for Huari. You might have also noticed Haddad yet to play in the league yet this year. He's got injured again. He keeps getting injured at the moment, and as a result, it's Efoni who just keeps coming into the team and playing again and again. I'll be honest, he's made 5 saves in 3 league games. So it's not looking amazing for him after his spectacular debut in the Community Shield. But today I've not really got a choice, so he gets to play again. And if you are wondering, Jack, what are your deadline day plans? I'll be honest, we've got money to spend. I'd like to spend it. I think I've only got 1 under-21 non-domestic player slot available to sign a player. Just as a reminder, Premier League clubs, you can only sign 6 players under the age of 21 from outside the UK. We've signed a fair few already this year. The last couple of years, we've not hit that threshold. I think we're 1 away, so there is the opportunity to go out and spend a load of money. I kind of like the team in its current form, though. I don't know if that's controversial or not. Just a warning, might completely change my tune if we fail to win this game here. We should be beating Crystal Palace fairly comfortably. We beat them 6-4 last time we played them, so I'm expecting goals here as Bolton gives away the ball. And now, Crystal Palace trying to play it out. Alex, though, reads the play well, loops it to D-Op. He is going to hopefully prove today he is not D-Flop of the century, because I did spend 97 million on him. I feel like outside the centre-back area, this is pretty much the strongest team we can field. Diop, Rojas, Misiak, Celik. I know people are upset about Sam Fay. Like you've already seen, he has come on off the bench in games and got assists, and he will get minutes this year as part of our rotation. I feel like he's kind of just the obvious option to go to when we need a goal, but I think it's hard to look beyond the talent that we have in the final third and find a spot for him in the team. Alex bringing the ball out from the back here. Of course, a player that we have shifted a lot of the team around to try and get into the first team, Alex. I'm hoping he's going to repay me with some development as the ball's played through Misiak. I feel like Misiak was onside then. It was the other player that was offside. But either way, the shot was off target, so it doesn't even matter. Already down to 10 minutes left of the half. I was getting ready to get shouty. We'll wait and see what happens here as... Bolton gets tackled from behind, manages to shrug it off and then loses the ball again. But he's won it back, everyone. You can't take the defender out of Bolton. Can he get to the byline and make... No. I'll tell you what, he's really making me look like an idiot, and he playing him as a roaming playmaker when he's giving the ball away like this. Why is he dwelling on the ball so much, is what I'm wondering. You associate that, I feel like, more with a deep line playmaker. Either way, the good news is the highlight goes on. We're back in possession. Alex... making magic happen. Look at him go. Run like the wind, my son. Bolton inside. Rojas turns his man, finishes it. Bolton assist. I'm a genius. I never doubted the roaming playmaker. Honest. Of course, we did start the season with Alex at right back, not playing on the attack kind of duty. We've switched him to that now, and well, you're seeing that on full display there. Getting to the byline, putting it in. Rojas had a lot of work to do to find the back of the net. The good news for us is he managed to do it. Ken Ichikawa, remember the name, say it, enjoy it. It's a very fun name to say, Ichikawa. He lays it back to Dexter Snedden, who, well, we thought might be leaving us at one point, but he's still in the team. He's still alive. He's still kicking, and he's still hopefully making magic happen. Bolton, you can see, as that roaming playmaker, more than happy to drop in deep and offer a pass where necessary as we look to build the ball on the far side. Lee Min, NDIA, they're having their own little game of piggy in the middle, and I'll tell you what, who is the piggy? Vink is the piggy. He's not having fun. It's now with Snedden, who's going to dink it to Lee Min. Lovely little pass. Misiak, options in the box. 4 of them to aim for. Diop is one of them. The referee's raised his hand like it's offside there. I wanted this to count. I want to enjoy this. Could he get his 3rd goal in 3 games? Will it be here? VAR, goal review. The goal's going to count. I never doubted it. Diop, 3 goals in 3, like I already said. He is on fire. Yeah, he didn't turn up in Leicester. He didn't like Leicester. I can't blame him, really. I went to Leicester once for a university open day. Is it De Montfort? I didn't like it there either, so I can relate to his plight. Anyway, 2 minutes at the end of this half. I was about to say, I'm going to come and go. No, that not. Alex is on a stretcher. Mosquera, on you come. I've just mentioned, haven't I, how I've already changed the team to give Alex a spot in the team. Imagine now if he's injured for a long time. Mosquera, not quite as exciting or as sexy, but to be fair, a player more than capable of stepping up. Very happy with how that half's gone. Would love to get a clean sheet in this game. I don't think we've kept one yet in the league this year. We've only played a handful of games. I should be able to remember them all. No, we've not kept a clean sheet this year. I want that. Has also just dawned on me, of course, that there's the whole rugby town curse. You know, from the first few years of non-league, wherever I mentioned a clean sheet, there'd almost instantly be a goal. Maybe the curse is gone. You know, we've not thought about it in 11 seasons. Lee Min filled away the curse, filled away the ball. Let's get it forward. He gives it to Mendes. Now it's row for them. Ken Ichikawa, though. What a... Well, I was going to say a tackle. It wasn't that spectacular. I'm getting carried away. I'm a bit of a Ken fanboy. Can you tell? NDIA now has it at the back. Bolton, Chelik. Lovely build-up play here. Mosquera, you could be playing a lot if Alex is seriously injured. Show me what you're made of. He skips past his man. He puts it into Chelik, who can turn, plays it to Roger Rojas. It's Roger Rojas' 2nd of the game. It's his 7th of the season. If the linesman was correct not to raise his flag, VAR is going to check this decision. Is it going to be given offside? The answer is no. I don't know why the pop-up didn't appear saying goal allowed. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Tell you what, that would be a really good boy band name, wouldn't it? Goal allowed. It's like girls allowed, but for goals. Yeah, I shouldn't work in the music industry. I feel like at 3-0 up here, I kind of want to make a few changes. This is the kind of game where we can, you know, afford to bring on some of the younger players, just bring on some players for fun and rest some of the big guns. I suppose when I look at the team as well, our bench is stronger than it's ever been before, and kind of managing minutes, rotating things around, I think is just going to be necessary this year to challenge on all fronts. Of course, we did crash out the Champions League a little sooner than I would have liked last year, and also a little sooner in other cup competitions like the League Cup. This year, we've got a bit more of a complete team. We've got more young players on the periphery of it. But a game like this feels like an opportunity. Of course, if they score one, suddenly there's a little bit of doubt around that. Although, as you've seen with the likes of Swainston making his debut, I'm willing to do it as Rojas brings it forward. He's on for the hat-trick, isn't he? He's not going to get it with a finish like that. Okay, well, we've already made one change in this game, of course, with Alex. I'm going to make a few changes here. Firstly, Snedden, you can come off. Bailey Salmon, on you come. I can't wait to see how high he leaps. Elsewhere in this team, Sam Fay on for Chelik feels sensible. Mateus, I'm going to bring on for Diop. Mateus, trying to train him to play striker as a reminder. Feel like we just need to keep putting him at striker, and eventually he'll figure out what he needs to do. This might be premature. I'm taking off NDIA as well. Swainston, come on down. Enjoy yourself. I know he's not quite Premier League ready now, but I'll tell you what, he ticks a lot of boxes, doesn't he? Whereas our two centre-backs now, 18 years old. I know we're 3-0 up. Maybe this is silly. Hopefully not. So far in this game, Crystal Palace have not had a shot on target. So if they go on to have a shot on target now, we can just blame it on the kids, even though I've kind of brought them in. Malone bringing it forward. Swainston puts in half a tackle. He had it covered. You know, when people say, Jack, do you like to take risks? Do you like to live life dangerously? I say, yeah. I'll sub on 18-year-old centre-backs against Crystal Palace in Football Manager, and they all gasp. Shocking, I know. I mean, I don't want to read into it too much, but when you look at the match momentum, we did bring on the kids and then we had a bad couple of minutes. But the good news is there was no highlight to be seen besides that speculative shot, and suddenly 5 minutes of added time, 3 minutes have gone of it. There's 2 minutes left. We are going to win this game. The big fat question mark, I suppose, is will there be a clean sheet? And also, why are Crystal Palace time wasting? Oh, maybe this is why. They've given it to Misiak, who scores. I won't celebrate that one because it was a crap goal, but 4-0. For some reason, I was just expecting us to concede a goal in the last minute. You know, Football Manager likes to ruin the clean sheet dream. I think we might keep it today. 7-year-old me would have loved this. You know, clean sheet dream 7. I think I was a bit younger than 7 when I was toilet trained, but I can't really remember. Either way, gonna finish 4-0 here. Sometimes with the commentary, I should just shut up. And I feel like today I'm just going off on tangents. With that result there, we actually go top of the league. Did results go in our favour? Tottenham failed to win. Everton didn't play, but, you know, still failed to win, technically. Leicester, just as a reminder, we did draw against them on the opening day of the season. They've actually had a really strong start to this year. They're up in 6th place. Elsewhere, Liverpool was slow to get going. Man City, they won 4-0. I mean, there's no point in reading into this too much, but everyone has dropped points to start the season inside the first 4 games. With the exception of Everton, who have only played 3, so still technically correct. Anyway, for whatever reason, deadline day this year, and I don't know why, it's on Monday the 3rd. Is it because it has to be on a weekday, deadline day in the summer? No idea. All I know is that we're going to come back in 2 days' time and try and get rid of a few players. Alex, a little bit fortunate. He's only out for 3 weeks, so I can certainly deal with that. That could have been a lot worse. Elsewhere, players out on loan. Of all the players out on loan, alongside Gilliland, this guy, Diego, is someone who I'm very keen to keep an eye on. He's had an okay start to his loan at Ipswich Town. He is one of the reasons why I'm willing to get rid of David. A lot of people said, Jack, why are you bullying David? I feel like I back Diego more. Right now, there's no denying that Sinkule is a better player, but David is a year and a half younger, more committed on a longer deal. One of the issues I have with David is just his inability physically. Like, he can't really run with his acceleration. He's kind of the jack of all trades, master of none, which I feel like in a striker isn't actually that useful. I'd rather have a really beanie tall striker who's great in the air or a really quick one. David just kind of does neither well. Anyway, I feel like I've already got my quota in of David slander. Deadline day is upcoming. We'll give Misiak some praise. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to come back when everything's turned yellow. Okay, it is deadline day. Gilliland, by the way, playing for Stuttgart. They just lost 6-0. So, you're now in the best of loan spells in Germany. In some slightly better news, though, you can see here, Everton failed to win. Yes, shout out to Manchester United. They managed to beat Everton. As a result of that, I can sit here and say we are top on our own merit. And also, one other thing I forgot to mention earlier, Champions League draw has happened. Here are the games we've got to look forward to. Ludogorets as an away day. That could be quite fun. Fiorentina as well. I don't remember. Actually, no, I do. I've done Fiorentina's away day. I remember the pointy spike bit that you see. I say spike. I think it's an observation tower. Don't know what that is. Answers on a postcard. I've been there before. That's like unlocked a memory for me. In terms of the more difficult games, Man City, Bayern Munich, Monaco as well, probably not the easiest. Neither Rangers. I just realised when we play Rangers, it's going to be the return of Roger Ospina. Oh, I don't know how to feel about that. Of course, Ospina was a deadline day dealing. What a lovely segue into this segment. We have got deadline day. We've got almost £90 million in the bank. Not as much wage budget as we could potentially have, but if I hit the take part button, everything goes yellow. It gets all dramatic. and now we try and sell David. Now, in terms of players that are actually attracting interest, Haddad is attracting interest. Would I let Haddad go? We've not had him kind of play for us yet. Who's interested? PSG. PSG are interested. Their transfer window's closed. Is it just the English transfer window open at the moment? Why have we closed late? Jean Victor is also attracting interest. Yeah, it seems like maybe only English teams have the windows open. That could be annoying. And the third and final player attracting interest is Dexter Sneddon. Imagine if I sold him now. Imagine if I sold him after everything that's happened this summer. Then I do have to find a centre-back with 15 hours left of the window. Probably not going to let that happen. I'll level with you. My optimism of finding a move for David is somewhat slipping. We'll offer him out for an unspecified amount just to see what interest there is. If that doesn't work out, might just have to loan him to another championship club. You know, last year he got 16 goals in a promotion campaign for Bristol City that saw them promote to the Premier League. It's not spectacular numbers, really, but I guess it's not awful. Karim Konate is also still here. No one wanted you, Karim. We'll offer him out again. I'm a bit concerned that two of the players I wanted to get rid of have no interest and the window's closed elsewhere. I mean, I suppose we don't have to sell anyone to sign players, do we, really? We've got 87 million in the bank. 87 million. Is there a position that I need to improve? The bizarre thing is, I don't necessarily think there is. I quite like my team with 28 players. But I have to spend some money, don't I? I'm now just looking at 19 years old and younger players that I've got scouted. Is there anyone who's like a super no-brainer? Like, Rice here is good, but injury-prone and his current ability, bit of a question mark over it. Not sure how likely he is to fulfill his potential. Olayinka here, Nigerian international, has a really impressive goal-scoring record, plays for Manchester United, but that might make it difficult to sign him. But he's got lots and lots of potential. I mean, he looks okay. David's probably better. I know one man who I have flirted with the idea of signing for a little while is Tyson Caruso. This guy, part Australian, 19 years old, showing loads and loads of potential. Bit of a question mark over his current ability and also the fact he's inconsistent. But he is a very, very exciting English talent. He is about to turn 20. I'm trying to work out, based on my memory, has he improved much since I last looked at him? Has his polygon got bigger? I think it might have done. I feel like in terms of players in our first team that I could compare him to, he's probably most comparable to Daniel Dimitrov, who if you just compare with Caruso, he's better, isn't he? He's better. How much should we pay for Daniel? 2 million. You know what? I like Caruso. Not going to talk myself into spending 50 million on him. I mean, in terms of 17-year-olds who have got decent potential, there are some more players here that might be interested in a move. Someone like Talarski for 5 million. I mean, that feels like an absolute bargain. He's a good defensive mid. Don't necessarily know if he's great, but then again, he turned 17 in June, and it's only, well, August now. So he is quite, well, he's very, very young, and that's a very good price, isn't it? I think I'm going to sign him. We're signing him. If there was an area of the team where we're maybe lacking a body, it probably is the defensive midfielder / centre mid position. Of course, we've brought in Osei, who can play as a defensive midfielder and is a very, very good player. We've brought in Berkso as well, who, again, good little player, although he can't play as a defensive mid. He's probably more the young replacement for Bolton, should we have a long-term injury there. But if we just compare Osei, who's probably the most comparable player, with Talarski. Bearing in mind Talarski is 17 and for £5 million. I think I should probably do it. There are a few more players there that maybe I should look at. We've got Stringara. It's a fun name, Stringara. He's super inconsistent and injury prone. How much might they want for him is what I'm wondering. Of course, just a reminder as well, we're restricted to 6 foreign under 21 signings. I've already made 5, so I think Talarski's going to be the one. Yeah, I'm not paying 10 million for him. There is a player just called Pep, who plays for Barcelona, who apparently has loads and loads of potential, but current ability, I mean, there's just a bit of a question mark over, isn't there? Tardo here, not bad at 17, I suppose, although he turns 18 in a few months. Also, I don't know if I want to sign another mercenary from Spain. You know, turning into a Roman, really. Wayne McKenzie is a Scottish player. Now, he's in the UK, so he wouldn't count towards our foreign limit. He's a centre attacking mid, 17, Scottish. I feel like there's been a thing about Scottish players in this save game, and I feel like I kind of want to sign him. Rangers want like 12.5 million, I think, for him. I'll go 12.25. 12.25. Am I just signing players for the sake of it? Maybe slightly, but I feel like it's just worth bolstering the academy. Wayne McKenzie, is he Rangers' hot prospect? He is. That instantly makes you think it's a smart deal. Whether or not that's good logic, I'll let you decide. Have we got any more players based in the UK and Ireland who have good potential that I can just sign for reasonable prices? There's Amechi here. He's not very good. Ian Seedon plays for Man City. Is he good? He's not awful. He's not £24 million good, though, is he? I'm looking through some of these players thoroughly underwhelmed. If I sort by value, I was wondering if there was any that I hadn't got scouted who look particularly good. I suppose we can just scout all the players on this list. I feel like if you're valued at over £10 million at the age of 17, you must be quite good. The most valuable, by the way, 17-year-old is Pisani here, who plays for Venice. Well, he plays for... did you just say it, Venice? I've never really thought about it. It's the team based in Venice. Venezia. I think that's what Venice is said in Italian. No idea, really, if I'm being honest. I should know. I went to Venice recently. Either way, this guy, he's fine. I'll get a scout report. He's not even got a face. You know, he's freshly birthed. 15-year-old playing for Lyon. I mean, he looks quite good. 20 determination. Get a scout report. Minkoro Namogo. That is a fun name to say. This guy's very good, isn't he? He's very good. 36 to 51 million, though. That hurts. He's on a youth deal. Can we just sign him? No, he doesn't want to join me. I realise I have got interested in transfer unticked it. I bet the Rangers bloke doesn't even want to join me, does he? I mean, hopefully he does, because I've made a bid and everything and got all excited. Actually, he does show up on the list. Maybe we're fine. I hate that I'm doing this. I'm still looking at Alexi. Alexi is still here. He's not signed a new deal either yet. Is he available, Mr. Agent? 129 million. It's just too much, isn't it? I'm going to hope that no one signs him today and I can then get him on a free transfer in January. That's the dream. Talarski doesn't want to join us. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm going to stalk him for the foreseeable future anyway because I quite want to sign him. He's only recently signed a deal with Mines. It's a shame, really. Mackenzie does want to join us, but he has doubts about negotiating terms. Let me quell those doubts. You'll be an impact sub. He loved it. My scouts really do like the look of this guy. How much does he want? I think I asked his agent and I've just not paid attention to it. We'll give him £39,000. He's 17 years old. He wants 50,000. I'll tell you what, young footballers today, spoiled. He's not even got an agent. I don't want to give him wage rises after league games because he's the kind of player who I might want to just throw in a load of games. I'll tell you what I'll do, mate. I'll give you £5 million just up front. I'll give you a big sack of money. We'll plop that down. £5 million's a lot. For you to have that, you also have to agree to an optional extension of 3 years. I feel like £5 million's an overpay, but Wayne can enjoy that money. I wonder what a 17-year-old would do if you gave them £5 million. I guess we'll find out. I bet he just turns into one of those players that goes clubbing every night before a game, and I'll just be annoyed with him. Apparently, David Sinkule submitted a transfer request. Yeah, we want to sell him. David wants to leave, and we're happy to sell. Please, someone please buy David. I never do interviews. The fact I'm willing to talk about it means you know I'm desperate. The Premier League register window closes tonight. That's fine. I can deal with that. Swainston is showing some good development. Things you love to see. I mean, given the fact we brought him on off the bench twice, I'd like to think he'd improve a little bit. Wayne McKenzie's going to join us. I think for £13 million, I'm kind of just happy to take a punt on Wayne here. He looks like he could be a very good player. My scouts rated him very highly. 17 years old, turns 18 this month. We'll get him a birthday cake. He's excited. Have you also noticed he's a mercenary from Scotland? I really am building an empire here, aren't I? We have had some loan offers here for Marco. Do I want to loan out Marco? Like, part of me does, but part of me knows he won't get homegrown at club if I loan him out. I think I'm going to keep him around at least for 6 months just to see how he develops at the club. If he's not developing a ton and I feel like I need to give him minutes, maybe we look to loan him out because he is a fairly ready-made player. One of the reasons why I signed him is because I wouldn't be afraid to put him in the first team if I wanted to. Celtic have made a bid for David Hall. David Hall is at our club. David Hall's contract's expired. I think. Oh, no, it hasn't expired. How have they approached you? Is he on a youth deal? How have you managed to... Oh, wait, was it a rumour? Oh, no, I have it auto set to reject. Ignore that. Ignore that segment didn't happen. I just didn't read the print. I was thinking, does he not have a contract? Because I just didn't see an accept or decline button because I've got it set to reject all offers. Okay, bids for David. Benfica have offered 27 million. Atleti have offered 20. I was going to sell this guy for 70 million. I mean, does he even want to talk to any of these clubs? He might be unsettled if he's not allowed to speak to Benfica. What about Atleti? He might be unsettled. Atleti, I need 40 million, please. 40 and you can have him. They've counter bid 22. I don't want to sell him for that cheap. I feel like at that price, I'd rather loan him out for a year and risk losing him on a free and try and flog him on next summer for more money. That's kind of where my head's at now with David. No one wants Karim Konate either, which is a bit unfortunate because he's very unhappy. Yeah, there's two strikers here that are really causing me problems. The thing with Karim Konate is he's not a bad player. I just think between Sanfe, Areko and Mateus, I've got three players who are very, very competent strikers who are probably, if not better now, will be better by the end of the year than Konate. He's 31 years old. We signed him on a free last year. I was really looking just to flip him on for some money after a very mediocre Premier League season. No one wants him, probably because he had a mediocre season. Right, look, David, no one wants to buy you. So here's the deal. I'm going to offer to loan you out to the end of next... Thing is, if I loan you out to the end of next season, I'm not going to have time to reconcile with him before his contract expires. Yeah, at the end of the season, David. We'll loan you out till then. Hopefully someone makes a bid. This could have all been so much simpler if when I'd offered him back to Bristol City after they had him for 1 year, they said, yeah, we'll take him on loan for a second year now we're in the Premier League. It's all Bristol City's fault. 8 hours remaining. I mean, we've made a deadline day signing. Here is the Premier League income, by the way. We're in 17th. Hopefully with the new stadium, we are going to shoot up these ranks because it's kind of depressing looking at the teams we're trying to compete with and then looking at ourselves. I'm being offered players by agents. Why are agents offering me right backs? Of all the positions in the team, right back is definitely not an area we're short on players. I've just noticed we're over the wage budget. I can't rejig money into the wage budget. That's annoying. There's no deals ongoing either, so I guess they've just decided that my current wage spend is the limit. I think I can maybe ask them for more money. I mean, I can ask them for more money. I think the chances of them doing that are quite slim. I have also noticed in the last day on YouTube, or in fact the last few days, people have been very upset about the 3.5-star youth facility. Should we just ask for that to be improved? Why not? When in Rome, improve the youth facilities, Mr. Board. No offers for David. No offers for David. Has no interest in joining a load of clubs. David, you really are annoying. I feel like at this point, as I see a big 6 hours remaining pop up, I'm just having a breakdown. I think David's just going to end up playing for us. You can see here, Marco's had another loan offer. Important player for Blackpool. I am going to reject that. And also with Warren as well. Warren is our emergency backup. You're not available, Warren. You've just signed an 8-year contract to the club. Why are you trying to go to Swansea? It's horrible over there. You'll love it more in rugby. I mean, at least we signed McKenzie, right? We signed McKenzie. That was a good signing. I was just checking that I definitely couldn't rejig some wage budget. We have still got £134 million in the bank. We've had a very profitable summer when it comes to kind of moving on players and just the wheeling and dealing in general. There's so many loan offers I've noticed here for Marco. Should I be loaning out Marco? Like, the fact there's so many loan offers is almost convincing me that I should be. Ipswich Town want him as an important player. You know, I might regret this. I'm going to loan him to Ipswich. That's Huddersfield I've clicked on there. Not losing my head. I'm going to loan him to Ipswich. And the only reason I'm going to loan him to Ipswich is because they've already got one of my players in Diego, who's an Italian player on loan. And I feel like Marco and Diego, you know, they're two Italian rugby youngsters on loan together. So it's got a nice narrative. I wish there was better logic than that as to why I like that loan move. That is the logic I'm going with. Swansea want Warren. Just reject all offers. Warren is literally our just homegrown at club goalkeeper. He's not going anywhere. Celtic have made a 500k bid for David Hall here. His contract's up at the end of the year. Should we give him a new contract, David? Do you want a new deal? We'll give him a new deal. I feel like, you know, Celtic want to spend so much money on him, he must be good. And therefore, I will give him a brand spanking new contract. Enjoy that. He is a Vanarama National League player, so you could argue I should just be selling the contract. But he does actually look quite good, doesn't he? Obviously, if he wasn't my own player, I'd be telling you he looks crap and he's never going to get near the first team. But you have to have a bit of bias. Okay, Marco's going on loan to Ipswich Town. We're going to try and get Ipswich promoted. It's the Ipswich mission. I bet Marco has no idea where Ipswich is. He probably wouldn't have agreed to the loan if he'd known, would he? Have also just realised I didn't make enough, did I, of the fact that Crystal Palace were in our new stadium. I didn't actually enjoy the view enough. Should we watch it? Let's just watch a goal real quick so we can enjoy the stadium. Is it a good-looking stadium? I mean, it's just a stadium, innit? It's just you have to hope as well that no one gets injured. If we just go back, you have to hope that no one gets injured. Because if anyone gets injured, that ambulance ain't going to be able to get on the pitch. Like, if you need an ambulance on the pitch in an emergency, you know, like South America style, it's not happening here, but there's a gate in the way with bollards. I don't know if I like the stadium or not. I mean, if you want to leave a review for the away day here, what is this in the corner? I've decided I don't like it. 1 hour remaining. Celtic are still making bids for David Hall. I might regret not taking them up on the fact they've offered 650k, but it does feel, I don't know. I feel like if they're offering that much for him, he must be good. He's not listed as our hot prospect or anything, so I'm not sure what they see in him, but whatever they see, I'm going to choose to see too. Anyway, there's an hour left of deadline day. Sinkule's still here, Konate's still here. The transfer window was closed around the world, and I didn't realise. As a result of that, it was difficult to get anything done. Here is a summary of our window. I mean, we received £220 million. We spent close to 170. So we did actually make £50 million worth of profit. But that's pretty good. I mean, we didn't need to make profit, but we've done that. You know, sustainable business and all that. I mean, all I know is we're not going to get a points deduction, are we? You know, modern football, Premier League points deduction. We're not at risk of that, so that's good. Also, I've just realised something. Wayne McKenzie wasn't my foreign under-21 player signing for the year, was he? I could have actually signed another youngster. Maybe actually, though, it's good to save that until January, just in case an incredible player comes available in January. There's nothing worse than when you sign your 6 youth players that you're allowed to sign, and then in January, someone new pops up that you hadn't seen before that you want and can't sign. I'm going to claim that I did it on purpose. Definitely wasn't just because I forgot because of video recording and stuff. I have to register a squad for the Champions League as well. Oh, God. This really is a turn-up for the Bucks at Sinkule. Registered for the Champions League. I absolutely hate it. Anyway, deadline day has come and gone, and that means we are going to wrap things up for today. Appreciate you guys watching today. Was a little bit of a different paced episode, like I already mentioned. I'm having to record this video the morning before you see it, so God bless, Godspeed to Editing Jack. You've got, at the time of recording, you've got 3 hours, 10 minutes to get this edited up on YouTube with a thumbnail. Good luck. Me, Editing Jack, completely different person. Now, in terms of when we're going to be back next time, we do play Arsenal, Rangers and Manchester United in kind of back-to-back games. Given the fact that Ospina plays for Rangers and Arsenal and Manchester United are potentially 2 of our bigger rivals in the season, and I appreciate it's not a million miles away, those games. I feel like I have to come back for them. Either way, that is going to wrap up everything from me today. Thank you so much for watching today's video. As always, if you appreciate the effort that goes into them, especially this one where it's a little last minute, go down below the video, leave a like. Besides all of that, back tomorrow, I promise you. See you then. Take things easy. It's me, Jack. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.